It was the dawn of a new season for the Dallas Cowboys. 1967 had ended for them like the year before it, with a saddening loss to the Green Bay Packers in the NFL championship game. The new season was full of promise, but bitter memories of a frozen December still lingered with the Cowboys.
In the opener at Dallas, the Cowboys displayed their true championship caliber as they blasted off with a club record 59 points against the injury-riddled Detroit Lions. On the Cowboys' first offensive play, halfback Dan Reeves set the keynote for the day with a 19-yard completion to flanker Lance Rensel. Reeves proved himself the complete football player as he took Don Meredith's pass and batted his way for 18 more yards. Tight end Pettis Norman added another 12 on a square-out pattern. On third down with 11 to go at midfield, Meredith found Bob Hayes in the open, and that means 6 points against any team. Due to a block conversion attempt, Dallas held a slim 7-6 lead as the first quarter ended. At the start of the second quarter, Don Meredith faked to Dan Reeves, eluded the grasp of 4 Detroit tacklers, and threw to Pettis Norman for 21 yards. At closer range, we can clearly see the competitive spirit of quarterback Meredith. This puts the fire in the Dallas attack. The Dandy One looked better than ever as he hit on 16 of his 19 attempted passes. Not once was Dallas forced to punt. Meredith's faking helped set Dan Reeves free for 16 yards. Behind John Nyland's perfect trap block, fullback Don Perkins slashed for another 8. Versatile Dan Reeves then showed he also has power as he rammed into the end zone for 6 more Dallas points. Just before the half, left linebacker Chuck Howley intercepted, and aided by Cornell Green's block, he gave the Cowboys a comfortable 25-point halftime lead. In the second half, the Dallas line again forged huge openings for Cowboy backs. Dan Reeves was still up to his old tricks with Lance Rensel. And Reeves did not seem to tire of scoring touchdowns. Early in the third quarter, with Dallas ahead by 38-6, Craig Morton and Walt Garrison, number 32, took over the powerful Cowboy offense. The result? More points. Dave Simmons set up the 7th Cowboy touchdown with another alert play, the 4th interception of the day by a Dallas linebacker. Craig Morton wasted no time as he sprinted right and hit number 1 draft choice Dennis Homan for 14. Morton then sprinted left and kept right on sprinting to the Detroit 3-yard line. Walt Garrison accounted for the touchdown. On a day of offensive fireworks, the Dallas Cowboys went off with the loudest bang of all.
So it was 1968, and the throne that had eluded Dallas for the past 2 seasons was again within their reach. The story of the Cowboys' quest for pro football supremacy began on September 15th and their opening day game with the Detroit Lions. In a spectacular display of defensive and offensive football, the Cowboys crushed Detroit 59-13. Rookie Lion quarterback Greg Landry suffered 4 interceptions, one of which linebacker Chuck Howley returned for a touchdown. Offensively, Dallas heroes were many, but quarterback Don Meredith was the most prominent as he completed 14 of his first 17 passes and gave the Cowboys a huge 31-6 halftime lead. When the final gun sounded, 7 different Cowboys had crossed the Detroit goal. The new season had started with a glorious bang.
As in last year's Eastern Conference Championship game, the Cowboys combined their doomsday defense and multiple offense to once again leave the Browns frustrated in defeat. After a scoreless first period, Don Meredith mobilized the Cowboys with a pass to flanker Lance Rinsel, number 19. Rinsel, voted Dallas' most eligible bachelor, shows that his moves on the field equal any he may possess off the field. Halfback Dan Reeves, number 30, sliced over right tackle for 25 yards and put the Cowboys in scoring range. Craig Bainham followed guard John Nyland into the end zone, and Dallas moved ahead 7-0. Moments later, Cleveland quarterback Frank Ryan was cracked by Bob Lilly and Leroy Jordan. Willie Towns, number 71, gathered in the fumble and lumbered to the first touchdown of his career as Dallas increased its lead to 14-0. Undaunted, the Browns rallied behind the running of Leroy Kelly. Several plays later, Frank Ryan reminded the Cowboys that the Browns can strike through the air as well as on the ground. A perfectly executed pass play to Paul Warfield covered 55 yards, and Dallas' lead was cut to 14-7 at halftime. After intermission, the Cowboys resumed their assault on Cleveland's defense as Walt Garrison, number 32, battled his way for 27 yards. Mixing his plays well, quarterback Meredith gave to Dan Reeves, who moved through a gaping hole in the tiring Cleveland line. Meredith, who completed 10 of 17 passes, again connected with Rinsel, who caught 4 of them. Dallas, looking like the best team in pro football, manhandled Century Division champion Cleveland 28-7.
The Cleveland Browns were the Cowboys' second opponent. A withering rush left Browns quarterback Frank Ryan bruised and battered on the floor of the Cotton Bowl. For Ryan, there was no escape from the doomsday defense, and no more vivid memory than watching the awesome sight of 265-pound Willie Towns rumbling to a touchdown and the Cowboys' second straight victory. Dallas then traveled north to meet the Philadelphia Eagles. Through the years, it's been an emotional series marked by unpredictable happenings and ruptured feelings. After a succession of fumbles, interceptions, and odd plays, the Cowboys stole the game from the Eagles and left them completely frustrated.
Playing without their usual abandon, the Cowboys scored on a 7-yard pass from Meredith to Perkins and a 14-yard field goal to hold a slim 10-3 lead over much improved St. Louis. With Jim Hart at quarterback, the Cardinals blistered the Cowboys with precision passes to highlight a determined third-quarter rally. In 2 plays, Willis Crenshaw and Dave Williams hauled in passes for 67 yards to the Dallas 4-yard line. Jackie Smith then made one of his patented receptions in the end zone to tie the game at 10. The turning point occurred when Mike Clark's 50-yard field goal attempt bounced over the crossbar with ex-hurdler Williams desperately trying to bat the ball away. Despite the brilliant effort by Williams, the Cardinals lost their momentum. Les Shy scored on a 17-yard run following a Dallas interception. With another drive underway, this 40-yard touchdown pass to Lance Rensel was called back on a holding penalty. Faced with third and long yardage, Meredith went right back to Rensel, who, with a nice block from Bob Hayes, raced for 27 yards to ice the game for Dallas. Meredith scored the final touchdown himself as St. Louis became just another victim in the Dallas championship drive, 27-10.
Victory number 4 was a costly one for Dallas. Game-breaking halfback Dan Reeves, number 30, was injured and lost for the year. Les Shy filled in superbly for Reeves. And place kicker Mike Clark boomed a 50-yard field goal to ensure a hard-earned 27-10 win. The bright glow of 4 straight victories was tempered by the loss of Reeves. Dallas would have to replace the irreplaceable. In a game of specialists, he was a genuine triple threat who ran, passed, and caught with equal effect. In just 4 years, Reeves helped lead the Cowboys to 2 consecutive Eastern Conference championships. He played a vital part in both NFL title games against Green Bay and almost won the 1967 championship by throwing for the Cowboys' lone offensive score. Reeves always seemed to find the right place when a game needed to be won. And in the Cowboys' first 3 victories of 1968, he had scored at least once in every game. As the 5th game of the season approached, Dallas fans asked the question, could the Cowboys run and win without Dan Reeves? In a rematch with the Eagles, the question was answered as 4 different Cowboy backs ran wild. Les Shy, Don Perkins, Walt Garrison, and finally Craig Bainham led Dallas to a convincing 34-14 rout of Philadelphia.
Happiness doesn't often explode onto Tom Landry's grim face. Today, the Dallas head coach wore his dour expression even more than usual as the Vikings, led by their unpredictable quarterback Joe Kapp, almost scrambled past his undefeated Cowboys. Kapp nullified the Cowboys' furious pass rush by ad-libbing his way around it for 49 yards. The Vikings attacked Dallas like they defeated Green Bay by discarding all offensive frills and playing deliberate football. Despite his own zany scrambling, Kapp's play mix was a careful blend of short throws to his wide receivers and screen passes to burly Bill Brown, his fullback. This plan produced consistent gains, but not consistent scoring as the Vikings faltered in the clutch. Just before halftime, the Vikings mustered their first touchdown. The longest play of the drive was a 27-yard sprint by Kapp, but the most important was a checkoff pass to Bill Brown, who treated Cowboy defenders like bowling pins and brought the ball to the 5. From there, Brown followed number 63, Jim Valone, to a touchdown. It was the first touchdown scored against Dallas on the ground and gave Minnesota a 7-6 halftime advantage. The Cowboy offense was more a hindrance than a help against the Vikings. Pro football's most spectacular and highest scoring machine could manage only one touchdown. A 15-yard sweep by Craig Bainham. But Dallas also has a defense that has allowed fewer points than any other team in pro football. A defense that yielded yards to Minnesota, but one that ultimately upset them. Follow number 63, Dallas end Larry Cole, and you can see the Cowboys' defensive excellence. Cole's charge shrouded Kapp's vision, and he threw blindly to All-Pro cornerback Cornell Green, number 34, who raced 55 yards for a touchdown. The Cowboys' might is a double-edged sword. If you stop their offense, the chances are rare you can overcome their doomsday defense as well. This is why they are undefeated and what will probably lead them to the throne room door.
The Cowboys next met the Minnesota Vikings in the season's 6th game. Head coach Tom Landry saw his team sputter and stall and barely managed to collect victory number 6 and remain undefeated. For Tom Landry and his Cowboys, the first real test was just 1 week away. On Monday night, October 28th, the Green Bay Packers came to Dallas. Though the Packers were suffering the rigors of a dismal season and their throne apparently lay in a shambles, they were still world champions. For those very reasons, over 70,000 fans in the Cotton Bowl and millions more on national television saw what pro football was all about. After all the touchdowns, the long runs, and the breath-robbing tackles, it was not Green Bay's throne, but Dallas' perfect record that now lay in a shambles.
The Saints tried hard, but Dallas and its doomsday defense was too much. Cornell Green picked off the errant Carl Sweetan pass and rambled upfield. Don Meredith threw 2 touchdown passes, both to Bob Hayes. Hayes got this 54-yard touchdown second hand, but the Cowboys took it anyway and tamed the Saints 17-3.
The loss to the Green Bay Packers had drained the emotions of Dallas, and the next week they played an uninspired game against the New Orleans Saints and were lucky to escape with a victory.
Dallas had the best won-loss record in the league. Don Meredith was the #1 passer in the league. Then the Giants came to Dallas with unimpressed people like 9-year veteran Bruce Marr, number 21. His 89-yard return of Meredith's misdirected pass set the stage for the league's #3 passer, Fran Tarkenton. Joe Morrison, number 40, used all 10 years of his pro experience in making the catch for the touchdown. For Tarkenton and the second-place Giants, everything seemed to go right. For Meredith and the first-place Cowboys, everything seemed to go wrong. Example, 3rd and 18 from the Dallas 22. Everything seemed to go right for the Giants. But it wasn't luck which had given the Cowboys 6 straight victories over New York. It was well-executed plays like this screen pass to Craig Bainham, number 46. And it was touchdown passes to humans who move faster than humans. Even Cowboy touchdowns seemed painful. Especially to young Giants like number 66, Henry Davis, the inspired rookie linebacker from Grambling.
A week later, against the Giants, the Cowboys stumbled backwards in a horrible nightmare and lost again. After a furious start, everything was now going wrong. The Cowboys had been beaten twice in the last 3 weeks, and their lead in the Capital Division had dissipated.
In the 8-year series between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins, only one thing has remained certain. Each game has been more unpredictable than the preceding one. Look at the facts. No team has ever swept a series. Neither team has won at home since 1965. Only 14 points have separated the two in their last 4 contests. At the start of today's game in D.C. Stadium, this unusual record seemed as though it would remain intact. The front-running Cowboys began by moving the ball right through a suspect Redskin defense. Then a pass from Don Meredith to Lance Rensel had touchdown, or at least long gain, written all over it. But wait, this is the Redskin Cowboy series, and what usually happens, happened again. After the Dallas fumble and Redskin recovery, another weird thing happened. Quarterback Sonny Jurgensen decided to run with the ball. On the last play, our isolated camera recorded a perfect defensive play by linebacker Chuck Howley, who made the tackle on Jurgensen. By the bomb squad. The Cowboys then pounded out a drive which was highlighted by 7 straight runs, good for 60 yards. This kind of game plan isn't even seen in high school anymore, but the Redskin defensive line, particularly its left side, has been more than porous, and the Cowboys took quick advantage of it. Number 43, Don Perkins, and number 46, Craig Bainham, were doing the running for Dallas, but a McCormick Reaper could have made it through some of the holes the Cowboys opened for them. It was time for a pass, so Meredith calmly fired a bomb downfield aimed for number 22, Robert Lee Hayes. The result, 6 points. On the replay, Meredith smartly faked what would have been the 8th straight run and hit Hayes on the run for the touchdown and a 7-0 lead. The drive came to a halt on a 3rd down play from the 44. While Jurgensen was being trapped and spun around like a top, he flipped the ball behind his back, harmlessly ending the threat and the quarter, with Dallas ahead 7-0. No change of strategy. Run, run, run. See us run. Try to stop us from running. When they did stop Perkins and Bainham, which was rare, Meredith hit Rensel on short patterns. For the half, Perkins had 47 yards, and Bainham, Dan Reeves' able substitute, had 58. However, the Skins were able to make some key 3rd down stops in the first half, the only thing that kept the score close. And Mike Clark had to kick a 45-yard field goal to culminate this drive for Dallas. Then Jergy finally hit the bullseye. After slipping on the muddy turf, he spotted his old favorite, Charlie Taylor. And Taylor, who this season has been having trouble holding on to the ball, just did hang on to this one for his first touchdown in a long time. Meredith wanted a quick score before halftime, and he abandoned his success on the ground to get it. Watch Bob Hayes on one of his favorite patterns as he got another 1st down. Meredith rolled up 140 yards passing in the first half, many of them on throws to his setbacks. He just missed a score on an overthrown pass to Rensel, almost intercepted by Washington. Then on 3rd down from the 30, he again overthrew his target. Even Hayes couldn't get to his pass. Hayes is worth watching, even when he doesn't catch the ball. And that's all a defender can really do, watch. No one can stay with him. Mike Clark's 2nd field goal made it 13-7 with 38 seconds left. With only 7 seconds left, the Redskins had to settle for a field goal. And their other Ivy Leaguer, the soccer-style kicker from Princeton, Charlie Gogolak, put it up from 37 yards out. The kick was good, and little Charlie bounced happily off the field. A 2nd-year man from Cornell used it to good advantage. Then quarterback Jurgensen returned to his favorite armament, the bomb, to his favorite receiver, Charlie Taylor, who couldn't quite shake a persistent Mike Gector. But on the next play, hit Taylor under the post for the score. When your quarterback's name is Meredith, it doesn't take long to move the length of the field. A strike to fullback Perkins, netted 15. A swing pass to the other setback, Bainham, doubled the yardage. A look at that last play from the end zone corner shows Bainham had his own cheerleaders urging him on as he juked away from Pat Fisher for the 30-yard sideline run. Meredith gave yet a third running back the chance to catch the ball as Les Shy took one over the middle for the third successive first down of the drive. But on a third down play, little Pat Fisher made a fingernail save of a Rensel-intended pass to avert a touchdown. Dallas accepted Mike Clark's third three-pointer of the game. Veteran Bobby Mitchell received the ball, headed for his blocking wedge, and was interrupted by number 21, Dick Daniels, who popped the ball to teammate Mike Johnson, and Dallas had possession on the Washington 20-yard line. This one play turned it all around, for it was an entirely different ball game after the fumble. It took Don Meredith only 2 plays to capitalize on his opponent's mistake. A draw to Perkins for 6 yards, and a play-action pass to Rensel for the remaining distance. The isolated camera shows Rensel head-faked his defender, Ricky Harris, and that was enough to give him a step in the score. Dallas 23, Washington 17. After forcing Washington to punt, Meredith began where he left off, devastating the Washington defense. A pitch out to Bainham with an escort by number 76, John Nyland, resulted in a 16-yard gain. But a football can be thrown faster than a man can run, and Dallas went with that undefensible play, the properly thrown forward pass, to move swiftly downfield. Walt Garrison took a screen for 14 yards, and Meredith got another first down from Bainham. Then he remembered a fellow by the name of Bob Hayes over the middle for a 15-yard catch and a tackle by Pat Fisher. The isolated camera gives evidence of what Hayes' speed can do, even when he doesn't have to use it. Fisher must cover him loosely and had no play on the ball. Then Meredith gave Hayes a chance to use his legs. The stadium lights were on as he came back to him with the big one, and it clicked. The ball was now on the Washington 22. On the next play, the Redskins proved they too knew how to use their legs as linebacker Chris Hanberger found a way to stop the run. Meredith returned to the short, quick pitches to his backs, but this one to Bainham was his last of the day. The brilliant but brittle quarterback suffered a knee injury when a 255-pound object named Joe Rutkins fell on it and sent him to the sidelines, at least for the day. What separates the Dallas Cowboys from other teams is their tremendous depth. Like the champion Packers once had, They seem to have almost as much talent on the bench as on the field. The loss of a talented runner such as Dan Reeves would be costly to most teams, but replacements like Craig Bainham and Les Shy have excelled this season. Likewise, not many teams can replace a Don Meredith with a quarterback as capable as number 14, Craig Morton, a former All-American from California who would be a starting quarterback for many other teams. Each time Morton has taken over for the oft-injured Meredith, he has come through, and today would be no exception. On this play, Morton wasted no time in proving there would be no let-up. Rensel's touchdown made it 30-17 as the quarter ended. The Dallas defense continued to assert itself as linebacker Chuck Howley defensed a third down possession pass. After receiving a short punt, the Dallas onslaught continued. This time the Cowboys needed only 3 plays, all on the ground, to move in for the score. Craig Bainham snaked around right end for 15 yards. Then Don Perkins took over. He carried through the middle for another 15-yard addition. Perkins is one of the smallest fullbacks in the league and probably the most underrated in the game. His forte is quickly hitting the hole before it closes, as this view from the end zone proves. Despite his size, Perkins runs almost exclusively inside, and each year withstands the jolting and jarring to rank among top rushers in the league. This 28-yard touchdown run topped off a 103-yard performance in the game and moved Perkins past Steve Van Buren into 5th place on the all-time rushing list. Since Washington's last touchdown, the Cowboys had scored each of the 4 times they had the ball. But the nightmare had yet to end for the harassed Redskins. On the very next series, number 66, Giant George Andre, crashed into Jurgensen from the blind side. The resultant fumble was lugged 21 yards by rookie lineman Larry Cole for still another score. In a period of 13 minutes, the Cowboys had scored 28 points. Have one last gasp as Chris Hanberger picked off Morton's pass on the 30 and rumbled all the way in for the points that made the final result a 44-24 Dallas victory. The tradition of narrow decisions in games between these two teams didn't hold up today. Coach Tom Landry saw his team pile up 515 yards and maintain its Capital Division I game lead over the New York Giants.
Finding 11 healthy offensive players is as much a part of the Bears' game plan these days as the forward pass. However, the healthy ones remain as robust as ever, and on Sunday against Dallas, they proved that they were as formidable during a play as they were after its conclusion. Number 52, Cowboy linebacker Dave Edwards encountered the Bears tag team of number 86, Lloyd Phillips, and number 49, Major Hazelton, and gained a draw. The game was stopped with 40 seconds left when the post-play action received more attention than the running and passing, and when number 65, John Wilbur of Dallas, found out what double teaming really meant. Through it all, the Cowboys retained enough of their championship poise to fashion a convincing victory over Chicago. Craig Morton subbed brilliantly for ailing Don Meredith, although this touchdown pass to Bob Hayes was nullified when Morton ran past the line of scrimmage. However, Morton came back to Hayes again for a touchdown as the Cowboys not only beat the injury-ridden Bears 34-3, but increased their lead over New York to 2 full games.
On Thanksgiving night, Jethro Pugh destroyed the Washington Redskins and personally gift-wrapped victory number 10. Pugh spent the whole night in the Redskins' backfield and accounted for 9 Cowboy points on 1 safety and a deflected pass that Larry Cole turned into a touchdown. All in all, it was a big night for defense in Dallas. Steelers were the Cowboys' 4th straight victim since the loss to the Giants. Quarterback Don Meredith and the Cowboy offense showcased the NFL's highest scoring machine, and Bob Hayes treated Dallas fans to a dazzling display of flat-out speed. The Cowboys not only won their 11th game of the year, but more importantly, wrapped up the Capital Division title. Only 1 game remained. It was with the Giants in New York, with nothing at stake but revenge.
The Cowboys came north for revenge, but the numbing cold seemed to slow down Don Meredith, who completed only 1 out of 10. Willie Williams got 1, but fumbled the freezing ball back to Pettis Norman, who just lay on it. Better to hatch it than hold it on a day like this. When New York had the ball, however, Fran Tarkenton seemed able to break the ice. He completed 21 throws, 156-yarder to Homer Jones, who almost got away. The Giants scored first with a field goal. Coach Tom Landry replaced Meredith with Craig Morton, and the fine number 2 man went right to work and right to Bob Hayes. Hayes played in the snow a little before getting back to business. But Willie Williams got the newcomer in trouble too, and the Giants tried again. Tarkenton next hit Aaron Thomas to see if he could break away. Thomas beat Mike Gector for the catch, but not the score. But the Giants could not sustain a drive against the fine Dallas defense, and Bob Hayes added another touchdown. He continues to be the leader of the league in punt returns, this one for 63 yards. Craig Morton learned to pass away from Willie Williams and worked his way up to where he could run for some points. Morton played a little more than half the game and completed 14 of 20 passes. On the final drive, he hit Lance Rensel on several occasions, and Rensel got into the spirit of the season by putting some figure skater moves on the defense. Walt Garrison took it in from the 8, and the Cowboys had 25 more points than New York. Before it was over, Tarkenton made one of his excellent passes count, over the shoulders of Aaron Thomas for the score. But champion Dallas had wreaked the revenge they were looking for, 28-10.
Yankee Stadium, home of the scrambling man, Fran Tarkenton. 2 wins over Dallas would salvage the Giants' season. Victory number 12 would not be an easy one. The last quarter was played in the trenches and would bring victory with vengeance.
Hold me again, lover. Hold me again. Hey! Hut! Hut! Block in there! Let's go wrong! Put him down! Come on. Hey, watch your face in there, John! Don't worry about it. We'll take it right in. We'll take it right in. I'll tell you. Hut! Watch it, Gary! 298!
The aftermath of 60 minutes of furious collision had given Dallas its 12th victory in 14 games, and the Cowboys' best record in their short 9-year history.
On the next play, Nelson was double blitzed by linebackers Leroy Jordan and Chuck Howley, who forced a fumble. Howley, one of the fastest linebackers in the league, had only 44 yards of daylight ahead of him. Ironically, it was a similar play that beat Cleveland with Frank Ryan at the helm in the regular season game between these two teams. Another look shows Nelson never saw what hit him as he cocked his arm to throw. Dallas was now out in front, 7-3. Then a pass deflected by Bob Lilly was grabbed by linebacker Edwards, and Dallas had the ball on the Cleveland 33. A Don Perkins draw on one of the few successful running plays of the day gained good yardage and put the Texans in good scoring position. But the determined Cleveland defense forced Dallas to settle for a 16-yard field goal and a 10-3 lead. Frank Morton at quarterback, and the difference was immediately discernible. Rolling left, he hit Rensel for 14 yards. And then found him again, wide open down the opposite sideline for 48 yards deep in Cleveland territory. But on this day, it mattered little who was quarterbacking. Despite the varied and complex Dallas formations, the Browns' recognition and reaction was nearly automatic. After a penalty pushed them back, Morton, with 270-pound Jim Kanicki on his back, somehow unloaded a pass to Pettis Norman that put the club in field goal range. And Mike Clark made the long kick good. Browns 24, Dallas 13.
In one game of the NFL championship, The Cowboys watched the elusive throne slip away from them once again. There was too much Cleveland defense, too much Leroy Kelly, and not enough time to reclaim victory. After so much had been accomplished, there now seemed to be so little. It was a harsh realization for the Cowboys and their coach that for the third straight year, there would be no championship. For Cowboy fans, the sadness was just as great. But for this particular defense that the Vikings have is one of aggressiveness. But in order to beat them, I just feel like you've got to handle their front four, and especially the two ends. Try to stay in the middle area, mainly to keep the pass rush off of you. I mean, don't take passes that take too long to throw. Otherwise, you're going to have Eller and Marshall, down your neck if you take too long to throw the ball.
Way to go, McGilly Gorilla. Here's the thing that I'm worried about. If we get the pressure up the middle, he's going to start going to the Meredith's going to get out. He's going to get out to the outside, and if Meredith finds out that he can get us by running that quick count, then he's going to run us to death on that quick count. And we can't afford to have that. See, so we've got to have time to adjust.
The main thing is going to be keeping them in, though, keeping them bottled up.
Keep them bottled up.
And it'll be
strategy, practice, planning, an overture to Sunday Symphony.
It's all right, Robert. If there's a question as to what you're to do, ask me before I get out of the huddle. Because what we don't want to do is make any mistake. Okay? Well, let's do something wonderful. Red right, wing false zig. It's on two. Ready? Cut! Let's go side. Hut, hut. Let it stick him, Kurt. Come on, Kurt. Hut, hut. Come on, turn around. Hut, hut. Feel it. 4-3, hut. Let's go, Ralph. Hut, hut. He's open. He's got it. Come on, offense. Hut, hut. Help him off. All right, now I want you to listen to me, and listen good, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball, we're going to pass the ball, we're going right down this field, and we're going to score. Take the ball!
One Sunday in pro football. A single page in a story 50 years old. Big Game, America.
That's the game, baby! That's the game!
Thousands that had poured into the Cotton Bowl each Sunday, there was still one more game. In the Playoff Bowl in Miami, the Cowboys rebounded from near defeat to triumph over the Minnesota Vikings. The The offense overcame a 14-0 deficit. And in the last few seconds, the defense held on to win. Out of the despair they had endured in Cleveland came victory and the faith that next year, the magic of the elusive throne may yet be theirs.